Hello, Dixon. We wanted to provide a brief message to respond to what we're hearing in the community about one of the issues surrounding the water rates. Why the huge discrepancy? As a water customer, you have questions. As your water provider, we'd like to provide answers. There is a fair amount of dialogue discussing two key points surrounding the water rates. Table ES3 only reflects the need for a $93,000 booster pump for the existing system. Why is there a need for the significant rate increase? Another thread of discussion surrounds a $70 million line item in a table in Chapter 9 that's titled Strategic Asset Management Plan, and how the costs were incorporated into the rates. Let's acknowledge that paying higher rates stinks, but let's walk through the details. On page ES6 of the 2016 Water System Master Plan, the document depicts the table below. The commentary within the community seems to query why the rate increases are so significant when only $93,000 is needed now, and the balance of the $40 million is to be paid by development. The key to this puzzle lies in the breadcrumb trail referenced on the same page in the previous paragraph. Quote, the city will be able to use the results from the risk assessment, preventative maintenance, and rehabilitation and replacement programs. End quote. As this quote is in the executive summary section of the Water System Master Plan, it is unfortunate that a summary of the rehabilitation and replacement program costs were not included as a table. But let's dig a little deeper. Next step on this investigatory tour is to review Chapter 9 of the Water System Master Plan. The chapter is titled Strategic Asset Management Plan, and it details the process to evaluate the existing infrastructure. The evaluation determined points of vulnerability, and based upon age and standard life cycle, the impact on the system should the component fail. The result of this systematic analysis is Table 9-17. The table includes estimated costs for design, permitting, and construction, and when the project should be completed to ensure the component doesn't exceed its expected life cycle. Make sense so far? Well, something is amiss. There is an error in Table 9-17. In fiscal year 2025-26, there is an expense for distribution system appurtenance replacements with the value of $70.7 million. What? What could possibly cost nearly $71 million? Clearly, this is an error. But was this error incorporated into the rate study? Next stop on our tour is the rate study. On November 13, 2018, the City Council accepted the study that describes the rationale behind the rates. Once accepted, the process of rate adoption began. The first rate increase took place on April 1, 2019, and then increases every year on April 1st, with the last increase on April 1st, 2022. But that process is not the subject of this presentation. In the rate study, there is an appendix titled Appendix B, 10-Year CIP Details, which is PDF, page 48. The table includes the projects depicted in the Strategic Asset Management Plan. The value for the fiscal year 2025-26 had been corrected to $860,912 prior to the development of the rate structure. In the end, there was a delay between the completion of the Water Master Plan and adoption of the rates to fund the rehabilitation and replacement program. This delay resulted in escalation of costs and compressing the need to fund projects within the first 5 years. The result is a $5 million increase in the cost of needed projects. Thank you for following the breadcrumbs with me. What appeared as a huge error was corrected through the process, and we can now see how the existing system needs much more than a $93,000 pump to keep it operating sustainably into the future. Until next time, take care, Dixon.